guys. So I've just been informed that when I talk about a stretching program, I just do the splits and that's it. I was informed by a buddy. He was like, "Hey, I'm kind of curious about your stretching program, but you just do the splits and that's it." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I should probably show you what I do." So, my mistake. I'm sorry. First of all, I do have a stretching program. I call it daily, but I don't do it on Saturday and Sunday because I'm lazy. But I would say my stretching program is very intermediate. It's very martial arts intermediate and very gymnastics low level, basic level. It's not really something that's going to help you attain new skills or build off previous skills. It's just, you know, um, barely enough for maintenance, which is appropriate for my age. Now, the first couple stretches we're going to go through is actually could be classified as a posture stretch. Um, that means that it's designed to help alleviate APT, which stands for anterior pelvic tilt. Now, I understand there are people that have APT and there's no problem. That's true. And if that's the case, great. There's nothing to talk about. Okay. But most people that have APT do have serious problems, particularly the lower back. The reason why is because, as we all probably do, we spend 8 hours in a chair. And then when we go home from work, we still sit down. The sitting position is not bad in and of itself, but being in that position for an extended period of time is very bad. First of all, the sitting position, your hip flexor is in an overstretched position. And the sitting position, it doesn't require any type of effort from your abs, your glutes, or your hamstrings. Okay? So what's happening is your lower back, whose job is just stability, and even then not that much stability, is doing the jobs of four muscles. Okay? When you sit down for a long time and those muscles aren't activated and the hip flexor is overstretched, your lower back goes, okay, I'll do everything. And it's not supposed to. So this stretching program, of course, is going to help alleviate APT in terms of the hip flexor, right? But this stretching program doesn't do anything for the glutes, abs, and hamstrings because, as I said, that's a muscle weakness. So you have to train those muscles. So your typical crunches, for glutes, I would say squats are the best. For hamstring, I think Romanian deadlift is the best. I understand there are separate machines for the hamstring, but I don't know. I've never felt my hamstrings until I did Romanian deadlift. So I give that quite a high recommendation. So to start with, as I said, we'll do shoulder stretches. Now this I picked up in gymnastics. The idea is that your elbows are always touching the wall. So when you go up and you come down, the elbows never leave the wall. And it'd be pretty good to have the fingers not leave the wall too. And I do 10 repetitions of those. After that, I will do, it's kind of a lat stretch, and this is another posture stretch, more for upper body posture. And here you're just going to kind of be in a kneeling position. You're going to put your hand on your neck, kind of turn in, and then you're going to turn out, and you're going to feel it in your latissimus dorsi. And I hold that for 8 seconds. Next, we have a runner's stretch. We did this back in high school. I assume everybody knows what that is. And I just hold that for 8 seconds on both legs. Next, we have what I call a single leg pike stretch. So one leg is going to go forward and you're going to come down as far as you can. Hold that for 8 seconds on both sides. After that, we have a pike stretch. So both legs are together. You're going to come down as far as you can and hold that for 8 seconds. Next is a straddle stretch. You're going to be in a straddle position. You're going to come down as far as you can and hold that for 8 seconds. Now we're going to do the seated versions of both the pike and straddle stretch, and I do 8 seconds for both of them as well. Next, I work on wrists, and I just shake off the wrists vertically, horizontally, and then I have, I guess I would call it wrist circles. I would do those both clockwise and counterclockwise. I'd say 10 repetitions for the wrist circles. And yeah, same for the shaking of the wrists off too. After that, I will have 10 wrist push-ups. I know you can't see. I should have backed up some more, but that's okay. You can see it in my gymnastics program video. Now again, that is pretty advanced. If you've never done that before, I'd probably just start on the knees, maybe for like 3 months, and then if you're feeling pretty tough and pretty strong, you can try a full wrist push-up. 10 of those. Next, I have wrist stretches. I probably called it something in gymnastics program. I don't know what, but yeah, I do it 3 different ways, 8 seconds each way. Now we have a shoulder stretch. So the way that you want to do it is you want to put your hand against the wall, your fingers facing out, and then you're going to turn uh, towards the opposite direction. Turn towards the opposite direction, and you're going to hold that for 8 seconds, as far as you can, both sides. Now these are shoulder rotations. I think there's an actual, I think in gymnastics they call it the shoulder dislocate. And I'm using a shirt, but honestly, you should use like a piece of wood or something or a dowel because your hand's gonna move, with the shirt, and that kind of ruins it because now one shoulder could be more flexible than the other one. And I would just do, I don't know, like 3 or 5 repetitions, and then as far away as you can, so it's super easy. But then you would move your hands closer and closer, making it pretty difficult, pretty challenging. Next, I have the seated shoulder stretch. So you want to, so when you put your arms behind you, you want your pinkies to touch, and then keep your arms straight, and then just scoot forward, and hold that for 8 seconds in the seated position, bent knees, and then again with straight legs. Next, I'll do a squat stretch. So it's for your hips. Just squat. Go down as far as you can. Hold that for 8 seconds. And then next, you can do the same thing, except this time you're going to try to get your elbows to the ground. If you can. I can't. Some people can. That's pretty dang good, though. But another 8 seconds for that. Next, we have the butterfly stretch. It's practically a classic. Do that for 8 seconds, and then lean forward. So you can move your legs a little forward. Now lean forward and do that for another 8 seconds. So here's another posture stretch. I know it looks really weird, but you'll kind of just have one leg forward in a bent knee, and then the other leg. Well, let me think about this. So basically, your foot is touching your inside of your thigh, and then you will just turn in, and hold that for 8 seconds. Same thing for both sides. And then you're going to go back to the first time you did the posture stretch, and this time just hold your leg up, or hold your foot up. And that would be good for another 8 seconds. Next, we're going to have a forward lunge. You'll have your back leg on your knee. Hold that for 8 seconds. Then you're going to be up on your foot, and you'll hold that for another 8 seconds. Both sides, of course. So this is another posture stretch for your hips. I have no idea what it's called. There was a name, but I just can't recall it. But do that. Do that for 8 seconds. Okay, next we're going to do another stretch. I don't know what this is called, but basically one leg is bent in and then the other is behind you, and then you just lean down. Both sides, 8 seconds. Next we have a pigeon stretch. So one leg is in front of you is really flat. It's really flat, and then the other one is behind you straight. And you hold that for 8 seconds on both sides. Next, you will cross your legs in a forward lean for another 8 seconds for both sides. Then we come back to the butterfly and hold that for another 8 seconds. And then you'll lean forward but not lose your foot position and hold for another 8 seconds. Now you're going to start in a straddle position and then lean all the way to one side. hold for 8 seconds, and then do the other side for another 8 seconds. Now you'll come down to a straddle position, and you will try to touch your left foot with your right hand. So you should swing over, and you should feel it in the lats for 8 seconds on both sides. Then you will lean forward, try to get your nose to touch your knee for 8 seconds on both sides. Next, you're going to rest your foot on your thigh and pull in. Hold that for 8 seconds on both sides. Then we're going to do a forward lunge, except you're going to, for 8 seconds, then you'll lean back and you'll hold that for 8 seconds, and then you'll go into splits on your strong side. Now for your weak leg, your weak side, you're going to do 8 seconds lunge, 8 seconds back, 8-second lunge, 8-second back, and then do the splits. Next, I have low, mid, high kick holds. This is a martial arts thing. I guess this is a little advanced, but yeah. Well, I guess, no, you don't have to do that. I do that. You don't have to do that, no. Both sides if you want to, I guess. Then I'll finish off with single leg raises. So your strong leg is going to do 10, but your weak leg is going to do 20. So start with your weak leg, do 10, then strong side, do 10, then weak leg, do 10. And then you'll be done. And that's it. That is my daily stretching program, minus Saturday and Sunday. Now when you hear me say that, oh, I do my stretching program. No, I don't just do the splits and call it a day. I have to do this every day, 5 days a week. That's what I've done probably for about 2 years now. Like I said, it's a maintenance stretch. It's not something that can build upon to other things. Maybe someday, but not today. I hope that video was interesting for you guys. Other than that, you take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.